Suddenly, the teapot shatters. In the aftermath, we see a girl and the MC standing there. The MC immediately asks if she's okay, but the girl is too stunned to respond. This is where the story begins. We are introduced to a grand mansion, bustling with workers. A group of men welcomes the girl as she arrives. Meanwhile, a boy carefully places something into a cup. The door opens and the MC greets the girl warmly. She takes a seat at the table and the MC presents her with a cup of Darjeeling tea. She thanks him, takes a sip, and lets out a sigh of satisfaction. "You have great taste," she says. The MC replies, "I've been working as a member of the Tenyo family staff for a while now. It's only natural." At this moment, we learn his name, Eito. Eito glances outside. "It feels like a rainy day," he muses, "but the forecast says it should be sunny." He then mentions that he informed the general to postpone the schedule. The girl smiles. "Your intuition is always spot on, Eito, but mine is perfect. I'd be bored if nothing interesting happened." She recalls the day she entered high school. She had a feeling Eito would be in her class, and she was right. Curious, she asks, "So, what's been happening lately?" Eito shrugs. "Nothing serious. Though someone from another class confessed to me." The girl freezes. Her grip loosens, and the teacup slips from her hands, spilling onto the table. A panel reveals her inner thoughts. She can do anything, yet something about this moment unsettles her. She reaches out, gently touching Eito's hand. I can't control what's going through my mind right now." Trying to steady herself, she asks, "What happened after they confessed?" "Of course, I turned them down," Eito replies. She looks at him, searching for confirmation. "Is that really true?" "It is," he assures her. Noticing the spilled tea, he asks, "Are you hurt? Did your dress get stained?" She shakes her head. "It's fine, just take care of the broken pieces." Eito nods and accepts the task. She scoffs. "A confession, huh?" Eito nods. "Yeah, it's my first time being confessed to in a row." She freezes for a moment, stunned. "Wait, what do you mean in a row?" Before he can answer, he quickly warns, "Just don't break the cup, it's your favorite." Without hesitation, she kicks the cup. Eito sighs. "That's dangerous, you know?" She crosses her arms. "Some things are more important than money, Eito. Like getting confessed to multiple times. If money could buy that, how much would it cost? 1,000? 1,000,000? Eito shakes his head. "Calm down. You don't even know how to manage money properly." He exhales. "Besides, it's not worth talking about. I was confessed to in a row, and I turned them all down." She narrows her eyes. "When exactly did this happen?" Eito sighs. "It happened while you were away on your trip?" The girl's expression darkens. Eito can never be left alone again. "Did I make him dislike me?" She had thought a 3-night trip would be fine, but it turned out to be more dangerous than she expected. Next time, she wouldn't leave him behind. Eito reassures her. "Everything was normal while you were away." She frowns. "Then why didn't you come with me?" "It was because of your father," Eito explains. "He told me to stay behind and protect the house." She huffs. "I should send my father a message saying, 'I hate you.'" Eito chuckles. "Don't do that, you'll make him bedridden." She mumbles under her breath, then suddenly asks, "Are you sure you rejected all of them?" Eito nods. "Yeah, every single one. I felt bad for them. I just couldn't reciprocate their feelings." She exhales. "I see. Then tell me immediately if this happens again or I'll break every cup in the mansion." Eito smirks. "I see. But threats aren't good, my lady," she pouts. "I wasn't careful." "Haha, guys, we know what it means. Jealousy at its peak." She then brightens up. "I want to go to school with you." Eito nods. "All right." Guys, is this her first move? Without hesitation, she hugs his arm and pulls him along toward the school. "I want to get there early," she says. Eito smiles. "As you wish." Then, he glances at her. "You lost your composure. Did I trouble you in the end? She shakes her head. There was something problematic, but it wasn't you. Her voice softens. There's something I desperately want. Something I can't give to anyone. Haha, guys, we all know what that means. Edo tilts his head. Is it some rare item blessed with desires? What kind of wonderful thing is it? He pauses, then smirks. Why don't you look in the mirror? Ah, I see. You need the most exclusive mirror in the world. She sighs. Your stubbornness hasn't changed one bit. Edo chuckles. What size of mirror do you want? She shakes her head. Forget it, I don't need a mirror. Her expression turned serious. It doesn't matter what I have. It's meaningless if I can't get the one thing I truly want and cherish the most. And then the flashback starts. The girl reflects on her past. She had always been able to do anything she wanted. Everything went her way. But when she was little and lonely, she met Edo. She picked him up after she found him. Just like always, she got what she wanted. She thought that adopting Edo into the Tenyo family would bring her more happiness. But Edo didn't become what she wished for. He always cared for her, as his master. Their bond remained a master-servant relationship. But she wanted him to care for her as a woman. She had been hated, avoided by other children. But you can't do everything without taking the first step, right? Little Edo once told her, hard work means making a lot of effort. Of course, there are talents you're born with. But you've achieved everything because of your efforts. That's something to be proud of. She had started crying then, calling out his name. Edo had comforted her with kind words. Since the day she met him, Edo had brightened her world with vibrant colors. Hey everyone, part 2 starts here. The girl gazes out the window, deep in thought. She knew this day would come. All the girls confessing to him, even those from wealthy families. But being confessed to in a row? That's insane. She sighs. She can't let her guard down or someone else will take him. Mumbling to herself, she frowns. It's unfair. The guy she likes is getting confessed to over and over. She clenches her fists. She's liked Edo longer than anyone else. Just then, a maid enters the room. Lady Hoshin, she says, the weather is clear and you should get ready to leave. The girl nods absent-mindedly. Edo takes care of her as a master, but not as a woman. If she confessed now, there might be a chance, but she didn't want to use him for her own feelings or personal gain. As they walk, she subtly reaches for his hand. She needs to make Edo see her as a woman, not just his master. She starts strategizing her second move when suddenly, rain begins to pour. She smirks. I knew it. My gut feeling was right. Edo looks at her apologetically. Sorry about this. It's fine, she reassures him. She glances around. There's no umbrella here. What a coincidence. I had all the workers store them away. The workers unknowingly had passed the vibe check. Edo sighs. Let's contact the umbrella shop immediately. She shakes her head. That's impossible right now. Then let's go to the convenience store, Edo suggests. The workers mumble among themselves. They shouldn't go to such places, it would dishonor the family. As they start walking, the girl suddenly remembers she has an umbrella in her bag. She grins. Let's go to school with an umbrella then? Edo nods and they begin walking together, sharing the umbrella like a couple. She smirks. Operation perfect. She had heard that her parents once fell in love under a shared umbrella during the rain. She glances at Edo. It feels like this world belongs to just the two of them. She straightens her posture. She's become more mature, more charming. Her eyes drift toward Edo. He looks completely different from when they were kids. Edo notices her spacing out. Please get under the umbrella, or your clothes will get wet. Instead of listening, she steps out from under the umbrella, distancing herself from him. Edo, she murmurs. She doesn't ask why. She already knows. Instead, she asks, why did you reject all of them? She hesitates. Do you like someone else? Edo looks at her calmly. I'm loyal to you. I've dedicated my life to you. The girl freezes. Eito continues. It's my way of repaying your kindness. I will always be loyal to you. Her romantic mode shatters instantly. Eito tilts his head. Do you have any complaints? She quickly shakes her head. No, I'm relieved. Then after a pause, she asks, what if I weren't here? Would you have accepted one of their confessions? Eito exhales. It would be hard not being by your side. Hearing this, the girl lights up with happiness. But then, Eito adds, though there's always a chance I could accept. They're all attractive after all. Her jealousy spikes instantly. She glares at him. I will never leave you. Eito chuckles and nods. Don't misunderstand. If it weren't for you, I might have fallen in love easily. She narrows her eyes. Did you say something, Eito? Eito shakes his head. No, I didn't. She smirks. I'll use everything. My intellect, physical strength, financial power, luck, and sixth sense. I'll use everything available to me. She clenches her fists. There's nothing impossible for me, no matter what it is. She looks at Eito with determination. Be prepared. She starts plotting her third move. All right, people, part 2 finishes here. Part 3 will be posted tomorrow, so make sure to tune in, like, and subscribe. Hey everyone, part 3 starts here. We're introduced to a new mansion. No, wait, I mean school. This school is nothing short of a masterpiece. Its majestic design rivals the finest estates, making every day feel like a walk through history. Eito and the girl step out of the car and everyone glances at them. What a charming scene. Everyone is complimenting her, and some people start murmuring that Eito belongs to her. The girl has her priorities straight, but her nerves kick in as she notices a couple of girls complimenting Eito and waiting to confess to him. She feels a jealousy strike when she hears that Eito has already been confessed to, including by a senior from the basketball club. She mumbles to herself that she must be brave and shouldn't let any girl take him away. A few girls approach Eito and greet him. Eito and the lady greet them back. The girls start complimenting him, and Eito tells them he's glad his efforts haven't gone to waste. They continue complimenting him, but suddenly the lady hugs Eito's arm and says they have to go to class. Eito and the lady apologize. Eito asks her if something urgent has come up. She replies that she's in a hurry and needs to get away from the danger. The number of messages Eito has been receiving has increased, and she tells herself she must take action immediately. They enter the classroom, and a guy greets them. His name is Yukimichi Kazami. They greet him back. Don't worry, this isn't a shoujo or josei manga, so there's no love triangle. Yukimichi asks the girl if she's okay. He mentions that they've been a close trio since childhood, but the lady rejects the idea, and Eito tells Yukimichi to shut up. The girl asks Yukimichi why he's here so early in the morning, and he says he took the train today. She points out that he usually takes a car, but he says that taking the train allows him to make more connections. He even met a girl on the train. Eito tells him he's diligent, while the girl says trains must be annoying since they're always crowded. Yukimichi nods and agrees that it's so packed you can barely move. The girl asks Yukimichi if the morning train is really that crowded. He confirms, yes, definitely. You have to be close to everyone. She suddenly tells Eito that he'll be taking the train with her tomorrow morning. Eito protests, saying it'll be too crowded, but she insists, demanding to know how crowded. Eito replies that it'll be so packed they won't even be able to move. She doesn't care. He must take the train with her no matter what, even if the world ends. Eito asks why she's suddenly so interested in trains today. She doesn't answer directly, but declares that he will be coming with her. Eito nods. It seems he already knew this was coming. She recalls how embarrassed she was when they shared an umbrella, but in an overcrowded train they'd be stuck together, semi-forced. This is her move. She mumbles to herself that she'll charm Eito and wonders about the perfect timing for a packed train. Yukimichi notices her scheming. He says, "Oh, there she is." Suddenly, a girl raises her voice and asks the lady to step outside for a moment. Shocked, she wonders how someone from Class 3 even knows her. Eito turns to Yukimichi and says, "It's the girl I met at the station while shopping." The girl hands the lady a gift to give to Edo. The lady barges in and gives Edo the gift, explaining that the girl made him cookies to thank him for the station incident. Edo thanks her. The lady abruptly changes plans. Instead of taking the train tomorrow, they'll be riding today. Edo nods in understanding. She quickly types something on her phone. Now, they're at the station waiting. Edo suddenly asks why she's taking the train. She replies that it's common sense. Edo warns her not to push too hard, saying this might not be the right time for a crowded train. But she points at the train and tells Edo to get in. Edo is shocked. She's deliberately choosing a crowded train over a free one. She insists she can't ride the empty train and drags him toward the packed one. Inside, her mood brightens. This is all part of her plan. With her pocket money from the Tendo family, the crowded train is perfect for her mission. She mumbles that the train is packed just to drop their MC. They're close. Too close. She wonders if she's crossed the line and suddenly launches at him. Edo reacts. Are you okay? Their eyes meet. He apologizes, but she reassures him. She feels jealous of the girl who gave Edo cookies. She tells herself she needs courage just like her. She has to. Edo asks if she's feeling sick. She insists she's fine, but tells him he needs to protect her well. Her heart beats louder, maybe loud enough to attract Edo. Then Edo leans toward her, touching her ear. I will protect you no matter what, he says. She blushes, completely losing her composure. She surrenders. Suddenly, all the passengers seem to vanish. Edo asks, Are you okay? She tells him to stop staring so much, it's making her embarrassed. She pins Edo against the wall, standing way too close. Take a seat, he tells her. Meanwhile, murmurs spread among the passengers. Edo is holding a girl on the train and his fans are starting to show up. Hey guys, I apologize for the long break. I actually made another 2 manga recaps while I didn't upload this manga. After this recap, there will be 1 chapter left until the latest chapter. It updates every 3 to 4 months, so you have to be patient. Part 4 begins as she reminds Edo that it's his turn. Edo and the girl holding hands, and she confidently tells him, let's pick up where we left off. Then we get a flashback to a few minutes earlier. Yukimichi invites them to playtest a board game, explaining that his friend is developing one and hopes they'll help. With nothing else to do, Edo and the girl agree to join. Edo asks what exactly they're supposed to do in a playtest. Yukimichi assures him they just need to play casually. This board game is a unique twist on Sugoroku. Edo questions whether Yukimichi designed it alone, and Yukimichi nods, prompting compliments from both Edo and the girl. But then, skepticism creeps in. They exchange uncertain glances. Yukimichi clarifies the rules. They must follow the instructions on whichever square they land on. The girl, unfazed, says, "Bring it on." Edo, on the other hand, feels a sudden unease. The girl and Yukimichi tease him, asking if he's scared and whether he's planning to play with that kind of attitude. Edo hesitates, doubting the atmosphere. He tells the girl to check the instructions for her dignity. She refuses to back down, saying that she won't tolerate this kind of attitude and that one must risk everything to win. And with that, the game begins. Yukimichi goes first. Luckily, it lands on a square, requiring him to run 10 laps. At least for us. Yukimichi goes to run 10 laps while the girl suddenly pulls Edo to her side. Edo is stunned. They're now holding hands. It's part of the rules, she explains with a sly smile. So it can't be helped. Still processing the situation, Edo hears her prompt him. It's his turn. Hand in hand, he reluctantly rolls the dice. His piece lands on a green square that requires him to hug someone nearby. The closest person? The girl. She tells him to hug her hard. He responds, "As you wish," and wraps his arms around her, holding her firmly. He asks her if it's too tight. She tells Edo, "You've grown so much since the first time we met." Edo smiles. "And you have too." She tilts her head playfully. "Really? Where do you think I've grown the most?" Edo considers for a moment before replying, "You've learned to honestly trust people." Her expression shifts. Something about his response catches her off guard. She pauses, then scoffs lightly. That's not what I meant. It's completely different. Ito raises an eyebrow in confusion. Then what do you mean? She crosses her arms, exasperated. I meant my breasts? They've gotten bigger over the years. Ito sighs and pushes her hand away, handing her the dice. It's your turn now. Don't speak in such a way. It would dishonor our family. She takes the dice, muttering under her breath. Ito is formidable. This level won't work. I need to try a different tactic. I have to go all out. She glances at him. Shall we throw the dice together? Ito, still puzzled, nods. All right. She explains the rule and he listens, uncertain. They roll. Ito lands on a square that instructs him to riz someone near him with 10 things. She lands on a square that says the person near her must carry her like a princess until the next round. She smirks, combining the two conditions. Ito stares at her in disbelief. Wait, isn't this game kind of weird? She leans toward him, amused. So, are you gonna do it or not? And just as tension rises, she suddenly removes her top and leans in. Hold up. Hold up! Hey guys, are you excited for this? Don't skip, and make sure to like and subscribe. Your support keeps me motivated for the next part. There's only one chapter left, so hit that like button and subscribe. The girl asks Ito why he's hesitating to carry her. With a sigh, Ito gently pulls her face towards him and lifts her up like a gentleman. They settle back on the sofa, and she mumbles to herself that this feels even closer than when they were on the train. She could die of embarrassment. Ito then tells her that he's going to list his 10 favorite things about her, but admits that it might be difficult to come up with all 10 at once. He hesitates, but she reassures him, saying, "It's okay, take your time." However, Ito quickly dismisses his hesitation, saying it's actually easy, and starts listing what he admires about her. He appreciates her natural handwriting, her dedication, her noble heart that never flaunts her efforts, and her confidence. He adds that she should also consider cherishing others' feelings. As he speaks, he glances at her, and she suddenly covers her face with her hands, embarrassed. Ito notices and asks if something is wrong, reminding her that he hasn't even finished listing all 10. She responds, saying it's even more heartfelt than she expected, but rather than her personality, she'd like him to compliment her appearance instead. With a nod, Ito starts again. He tells her that her charm isn't just about appearances, but she insists, no personality, only appearance. Ito agrees. She mumbles to herself that this is the moment, his chance to express his true feelings about her looks. She braces herself, trying not to be nervous. Ito begins, "Your golden hair is beautiful." She nods, unfazed. She's used to compliments about her appearance. This should be easy. But then, Ito continues, "Your silky, lustrous golden hair. How many times has its sparkle stolen my breath away?" She's stunned. Is he captivated by her? He goes on, "Your blue eyes remind me of the endless sky. Their noble sparkle is like a fine jewel. I feel honored just to be reflected in them." Her porcelain-like skin, he adds, accentuates her nobility even more. She mumbles to herself. She's received compliments before, but when Ito says it, her heart starts racing. Suddenly overwhelmed, she admits defeat, telling him to stop. Her eyes are full of shyness, her heart pounding wildly. "It's not that I didn't like it," she tells him, flustered. "I'm not angry either, it's just... Your words make me so happy. They mean something special to me." She admits that he always finds the right words to compliment others naturally, but maybe for her, his words aren't just casual. Ito reassures her, "I'm telling the truth. My words are special to you because you're special to me. Sure, I can compliment others, but for you, I can go even further." She hesitates before asking, "Is it really just for me?" Ito nods. "Yes, to me. You're the only person I truly care about." Then, we cut to a scene of a girl sitting in an airplane gazing out of the window. Hey everyone! Part 5 starts here. I skipped some of the panels from the chapter because they were just filler conversations about Ito. Plus, another chapter was released a week ago, so stay tuned for part 6. Alright then, let's dive into the video. The edited chapter begins with the girl who likes Eito saying that if she had a rival, she wouldn't let her feelings go to waste, as that would damage how she represents herself. We see Yukimichi and the girl sitting at a table. Scripter note: hold up guys, this is not a date or anything. They're just discussing how she might get Eito's attention. Don't get it twisted. Yukimichi tells her it's kind of splendid and that if she had the courage, she should go for it already. He teases her, saying she should confess to Eito sooner. The girl blushes. Then, the mobile vibrates. She notices and wonders if it's a call or a notification. Yukimichi says it's just a message and puts the phone back. He tells her to be alert because an actress or model named Uta Hime has come to Japan. She's currently at the peak of global popularity. The girl asks whether Uta Hime is living with her family in Japan or alone. Yukimichi replies that she's in town right now. The girl stops drinking her tea, visibly shocked. Yukimichi adds that if he uses his connections, he might be able to find her approximate location. If you want to meet someone for the first time, why not walk around town? The princess who escaped might be sleeping on the side of the road or falling from the sky, Yukimichi says. He calls it a predestined encounter. They both laugh. The girl says it's not likely to happen. Then they both pause. If it's Eito we're talking about, anything's possible. They begin making a plan to find him in town. The mobile vibrates again. She picks it up happily. It's a message from Eito. He says he's still in town and taking a day off. They stare at the phone, hesitant to leave Eito alone. The girl grabs a speaker and tells her assistant to start the car. It's an emergency. Eito is alone and might cross paths with Uta Hime. She urges Yukimichi to hurry up. Cut to Tokyo, an hour ago. We see Eito with 2 people. A little girl's mother is thanking him for saving their kitty. The little girl holds the cat in her arms, wondering why it ran away. Her mother asks, "Do you love the kitty?" And she replies, "I love it." They both thank Eito before leaving. Eito pulls a pocket watch and checks the time. It's early afternoon, and he's bored. He starts walking, thinking about what to do with the rest of his day. Suddenly, something clatters nearby. He notices a pair of glasses on the ground and wonders how they got there. Suddenly, a girl appears, gripping a rope and yelling for him to move. He turns. She's stunning, still holding onto the rope, but she's slipping. Eito reacts quickly and catches her just in time. She opens her eyes. He's holding her like a gentleman. He asks if she's okay. She lowers her cap and quietly thanks him for saving her. He encourages her to stand, but she stumbles. She insists she's fine, but Eito can tell she's shaken. He calmly tells her it's natural for the body to react that way. She admits she thought he was the one hurt and apologizes. Eito reassures her, it's okay. He kneels beside her and says whoever was chasing her hasn't arrived yet. She looks shocked. He gently tells her there's no surveillance around. She asks how he knows. Was it some kind of sixth sense? Eito smiles and says it's only natural. For her, he's like a servant. She stares at him, taken aback. He reassures her again. He's uninjured. She's still surprised. Uta Hime says he's strange. Eito shrugs, saying she's no less strange. After all, who descends from buildings by rope? She tells him she was being chased by her bodyguards. Strange place to hold a conversation, she remarks. Eito hands back her glasses and asks, "Can I escort you somewhere safe?" She's confused but accepts the glasses, still hesitant. Eito looks at her as she asks, "Why would they chase me?" He casually asks, "Are you a bad person?" She looks away, disappointed. She says maybe she is. Running away won't fix anything, she knows. It's a temporary escape. Deep down, she realizes it only adds more problems, for others and for herself. She's scared. She wants to get away, even just for a little while. She thanks Eito for worrying about her and quietly says that if it were just about her, she could handle it. When asked where she's going, she says she doesn't know yet, but a decision will have to come soon. She claims she'll be fine. Eito tells her to walk with him, and maybe they can decide together. She hesitates. She tells him to go on without her, that she can decide on her own. But Eito refuses. He holds out his hand. She takes it, smiling, and says, "You're really a strange person. You came out of nowhere, helped me, crushed my anxiety, and became a light in my darkness." Suddenly, a car pulls up. It's the girl from earlier with Yukimichi. She knows she's too late. Kazami says he located them using the Tendo family app, but maybe it's already too late. The girl turns to Yukimichi and asks if he's blind. That alley is so dark no one visits. The rope is still hanging. Kazami warns her. There's a love rival now, and a lot could have happened. She turns to him with a cold stare. They floor the car. She mutters, "Even if I have to dig through grass and soil, I'll find Eito before it's too late." All right, everyone. Part 5 ends here. If you love the manga or enjoyed the recap, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for Part 6. It'll be uploaded within 4 days or a week. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Part 6 starts here. We see a girl taking notes from the people Eito has helped, whether he was with someone or alone. The first person she interviews is the one we saw in the last chapter, who says Eito was alone. The second person says he saw Eito with a girl, and the third confirms the same. The girl smiles at her phone, clearly feeling a bit jealous, and tells Yukimichi that Eito had a valuable day off, and as his master, she's absolutely delighted. But then, with fire in their eyes, they begin their search for Eito, tracing the marks of his kindness to find him. As they're talking about Eito and Utahime, a man walking behind them suddenly stops and turns around. The girl is just saying to Yukimichi that they shouldn't let Eito escort Utahime home when the old man overhears. He steps closer and says, "Excuse me." The girls turn around to see who called them. The man explains that he has a question, specifically about Utahime, whom they were just talking about. Scene change. Utahime is now holding a small cat plushie in her hands, her eyes sparkling with joy. She tells Eito that it's her first time at a place like this, and she really enjoyed it. When Eito asks what her favorite game was, she says it was the one that goes bam and has a colorful room. Eito recognizes it immediately and tells her it was a music game. She then holds up the plushie and thanks him for winning it for her, asking how he knew she wanted it. Eito tells her that she'd been looking at it for a long time and he noticed. She tries to apologize for making him go out of his way, but Eito stops her, saying that he actually wanted to play that machine for a while himself. When he offers to carry the plushie since it looks heavy, Utahime hugs it tightly and insists, "I want to carry it." Then, glancing up at him with a warm smile and shining eyes, she adds, "Thank you, I'll treasure it." Eito smiles back and says it's his pleasure, then asks where they're going next. Utahime tells him about a fresh juice stand near the station and starts leading him there. But after a few steps, she stops and says it's her token of gratitude. Eito raises an eyebrow and tells her that it's not what she's thinking, because the stand is actually on the opposite side of the station. Embarrassed, she turns and points in another direction, asking if that way is north. Eito gently corrects her again. It's south. She blushes harder, and Eito teases her gently, asking if she's directionally challenged. She softly replies, "No," in a shy tone. He looks at her kindly and says she's easy to understand. That shifts her mood. Noticing the change, Eito quickly clarifies that he didn't mean it in a bad way, just that he can read her expressions easily. She suddenly stops and tells him it's not true. As a child, people used to say horrible things about her. They thought she had no emotions, and they constantly misjudged her. Ever since then, she's been trying to have normal emotions like everyone else. Blushing as she looks at the plushie, she admits there are many things she can't talk about in public. Eito gently comforts her, saying that everyone has their weaknesses, and the people around her simply didn't know how to see hers. Then, with warmth and sincerity, he tells her that her heart is full of emotion, and that she's someone who expresses her feelings with sincerity. She turns to him, slightly confused, and Eito explains further. She may appear cold on the outside, but her heart is warm, and that she had already transmitted those feelings to him, which made him happy. They start walking again, and Eito points out a food stall on the other side of the road. Utahime looks down at the plushie and smiles. Just then, someone calls out her name, Utahime. Her expression changes immediately, darkening as she turns toward the voice. A nearby family is standing next to a poster of her album. A little girl tells her parents she likes Utahime's songs, and the family begins to cross the road, holding hands. Utahime watches them quietly. Seeing their closeness and the child's joy, her face saddens. Eito looks at her, reading her emotions with quiet understanding. Scene change, Riverside Park. Now, they're at a peaceful park near the river, sitting and resting. Utahime's expression is somber. Eito quietly apologizes, saying he probably shouldn't have said what he did earlier. But Utahime cuts in and asks, "You've already realized, haven't you? About who I am?" Eito nods, explaining that Lady Hoshin called him thick-headed for not recognizing her sooner, but after spending even just an hour or two with her, he understood. He tells her that she's a kind person who expresses her feelings from the heart. Stunned, Utahime laughs and says that Eito is directionally challenged too, just like Roronoa Zoro. He denies it, but they both laugh. She looks up at the sky and says she wishes she could use magic, a magic that could gently warm her heart. She admits she doesn't usually laugh this much. Then, she opens up more. Her mother could use magic, a magic of happiness that calmed everyone around her. Her songs could even make Utahime's father smile. But then, her mother passed away. Her father fell into a deep depression, and Utahime could only watch. She tells Eito that if she had her mother's magic, maybe she could make her father smile again. Tears fall from her eyes as she turns back, and there stands her father. They embrace tightly. He tells her that her song sounds just like her mother's. She quietly smiles through the tears. That's all she wanted, to see him smile even just once more. She continues working on her music, recording songs and composing beautiful melodies. But one day, she tells someone that she wants to redo everything from the start. The production team is confused and her father is waiting outside the room. She reflects on how her mother's voice was more beautiful and how she had always been closer to her mother. Her own singing, she thinks, isn't good enough. She needs to work harder, study more. If she doesn't, she'll never be able to be like her mother. Later, she's seen packing her things and heading home. Meanwhile, her father is talking to someone, apologizing. And he says, "I do not think I can endure it much longer. I'm at my limit. I do not want Utahime to sing anymore. For me, it is painful to listen to her voice." Unbeknownst to him, Utahime is standing right behind the door, overhearing everything. Her heart shatters. Her manager panics when Utahime cancels her voice training. She looks hollow, lost in thought. In her mind, she keeps hearing her father's words, "You don't have to sing anymore." Utahime falls to her knees, unable to breathe. People rush to help. Through her tears, she whispers softly, "I see. When it comes to singing, I'm someone who's no longer necessary." Narration ends. All right, everyone. Stay tuned for part 7. I'll work on translating the next part or wait for the group's release. Thanks so much for watching.
It only takes one bullet. You ain't got the nerve. Try me.